Aloha and welcome to this special H&N report. I want to take you live to a press conference happening now on Maui with state officials outlining the latest on emergency donation distribution efforts. Let's go ahead and listen
everyone for the outpouring support and outpouring aloha. This is what happens in our community when people are suffering, when people are hurting. The community step up and take care of each other. What we have seen in the last several days, in order to take care of many of the needs in our community, we have seen outpouring support of aloha from all over the state and all over the world. And in as much as the priority continues to be monetary donation, people feel the need to take care of the essential needs of the people of Maui. Because of that, we're getting tremendous amount of goods that are being shipped to the island of Maui. What we want to stress today is in order to get the essential needs out to the people who really need it, we are working on a coordinated effort. What we have here is one of the storage facility that will be used to store, sort, and inventory the goods that are here and to be sent out to the public and to send out to the communities that are clearly in need. What we're also working, thanks to all the partners we have, the airlines, the shippers, the community organization like CNHA, HCF, many of the private organizations, including Island Movers, state agencies, including DAGs, many of our federal, county, and state partners. This coordinated effort in order to get the goods out is the best way that we can help our people. So first of all, I wanted to call on Senator Brian Schatz.
Thank you to the Lieutenant Governor and her team for spearheading this effort to corral all of the support and make sure it gets to the people that need the help. I just have one simple message, and it has to do with the individual assistance program. There are people on the ground, 90 FEMA workers, to enlist people in the IA program. And we really do need the community's help in getting the word out about that, because obviously the normal way nowadays to sign up for that program is either to call the 1-800 number or to sign up online. Obviously we don't have telecommunications back up and running. So those FEMA staffers who are on Maui right now, that's their only purpose, is to make sure that everybody who is eligible enlists. So please use your word of mouth, use your network, and make sure that everybody who is eligible for individual assistance signs up as soon as they can possibly do so. Thank you.
Currently, the items that are being collected on Oahu, we are encouraging that all the items be sorted and inventory, and we ask that people not ship to Maui County unless you have somebody on this side who will receive it. So specifically, if you are in contact with a community organization, including Maui Food Bank or the MEO, we ask that you not ship to County of Maui. We want to encourage Maui County, and we are supporting Maui County to take care of recovery efforts and disaster relief efforts. So this effort is to relieve some of the burden from Maui County. So we ask that you not ship directly to Maui County unless you have a receiver. The second thing is from Oahu, if you have not sorted items, please sort the items, and again, do not ship. We will have community partners on Oahu, including HCF and CNHA. If you don't have the ability to sort, they will help you sort inventory, and we have individuals here on the island to receive those items. On Maui, we have tremendous number of individuals who want to help, who want to donate their time, who want to be able to help in this healing process. We ask that you not drop off things at the shelters. The shelters are specifically to take care of individuals who are displaced, who are in need. Tremendous amount of items are being taken to the shelters, and that interferes with some of the services that we want to deliver. So here with us, I have Laksa with the County of Maui to describe some of those efforts.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. Aloha. I'm here on behalf of the Office of Mayor and the County of Maui. And over the last 5 days, we've partnered with community organizations to offer relief and supplies to those impacted by the fire. Specifically through a partnership with Hawaii Food Alliance, we have delivered over 1 million pounds of food, water, and supplies to the Lahaina community. People impacted by the fires can pick up supplies at our distribution sites at Lahaina Gateway and Napili Market, among many other distribution sites throughout Lahaina town. If you are interested in donating goods, volunteering, offering services, or looking for support of any kind, we encourage you to visit mauinuistrong.info. Again, that is mauinuistrong.info for a comprehensive list of services and resources. The list of supplies that are most in demand at this point in time continue to be non-perishable food items, specifically protein and vegetable items, water. Hand washing stations are also needed. We are also looking for water totes to be able to transport water. Outdoor sinks are another need out in Lahaina. Portable charging stations or portable charging devices are also needed. We do have a need for wheelchairs as well, and semi-permanent or permanent tents are being accepted as well. We are currently in the process of relocating our donation site from the current site that everyone has been donating to at War Memorial. We are going to be moving that as of tomorrow to a drop-off site at Sears. So if you enter the Sears parking lot, we will be open from 8 to 4 p.m. accepting donations from the community. We asked humbly to please not bring any more clothing items. At the time, we have a surplus of clothing items, and we are working our way through what we currently have. If you would like to make a monetary donation, we ask that you visit the 2 sites that we are partnering with. One is through Hawaii Community Foundation. They can be found at hawaiicommunityfoundation.org, or you can also give through Maui United Way, which is mauiunitedway.org. We are grateful to all the partners and extend our deepest appreciation to the many community partners, specifically Maui Rapid Response, and hundreds of grassroots efforts that are being made to support West Maui and Kula. Thank you.
Thank you, Lakshmi. Sorry, it was Lakshmi Abraham. And she's been working so hard. She and the entire county partners have worked really hard, and we really appreciate all the efforts that the Maui County officials have done. In order to describe the collection, storage, and inventory effort, I want to introduce Shan Sutsui of Mahi Pono.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I first want to just say thank you to all of our government leaders, the county, the state, the federal government for really working hard over the last several days, doing a tremendous effort, making sure that supplies gets distributed to the areas of need. So part of this, as we continue to grow and as we continue to move forward, is the transition from allowing the county to manage a lot of the inventory that's coming into the state and having the private sector and the community pick up right where they left off. And so this effort, as we continue to move forward, is to make sure that all of the hundreds of containers that are currently en route to the island of Maui gets managed, gets maintained, resorted, redistributed to the right places at the right time. So I want to thank, again, our county partners and all of those involved in this process. Mahalo.
The facility that you see in front of me, it's a DAGS facility, and it was allowed by Keith Regan here, who is the comptroller. He's identifying other state properties that can be used for disaster relief purposes. So I wanted to introduce Keith.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. Keith Regan, comptroller for the state of Hawaii. First and foremost, I just wanted to express our sincere and deep condolences to all the families and individuals that have been impacted by the fires. As it relates to DAGS, I've asked our team to do whatever it takes to be able to support the people of this community. That includes utilizing whatever space we may have that is available and repurposing space if it comes to that, so that we can be able to address some of these immediate needs that we have. That's our primary task. What you see here is one of these warehouses that we have that we've been able to repurpose and to make available to be able to support the efforts going forward in the recovery and relief phase of this event and this tragedy. I wanted to also just express my sincere gratitude to the DAGS team that has gone above and beyond, not only as it relates to this warehouse, but also in terms of being able to go out and work on the facilities that have been damaged by the fires and by the wind event. So thank you very much to our team as well. Part of our mission includes looking for space. And as the Lieutenant Governor said, we're looking at all of available DAG spaces to see if we can repurpose those individual units to help support the relief. But we're also looking for private space. In fact, we just came from a site visit where we're identifying a potential one-stop shop, if you will, for FEMA as well as state resources that will be delivered to the community, so that people can go to one location and get all the services that they need. This is our primary mission to get this done. I want to thank specifically Weinberg Foundation. Actually, Weinberg has really stepped up to be a partner in this. And if you recall, there's an old Safeway that's right down the street from here that they are actually going to make available to us if it meets our needs. And so I just want to express our gratitude for that. But it doesn't stop there. Our commitment is going to be to the very end, until the last person has been able to be helped in this process. And I just wanted to thank all of the hands that have gone into so far helping our community get back on their feet and start at least to try to move forward with recovery. So again, thank you very much for having me, Lieutenant Governor.
One of the things that we have heard is that significant number of individuals have lost cell service, have lost connectivity. So we have here a representative from AT&T. She will announce an effort to loan AT&T phones to people in need.
Mahalo, Lieutenant Governor. Elizabeth Songbele here with AT&T Hawaii. As many of you know, our AT&T network and FirstNet teams have been working as quickly as possible to restore existing wireless facilities and deploy portable assets. However, as mentioned, we've been hearing that so many lost their devices in the fires. In response, AT&T has loaner phones on its way to Maui right now. These phones have been generously donated by Motorola. We will be activating free unlimited AT&T service on these phones. We will be working through this coordinated effort to provide these phones to nonprofits who can ensure people who need to connect with their loved ones can do so. We know this is a fluid situation, and our hearts are with Maui, and these phones will be on Maui for as long as we need. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. At this point, I wanted to call on Councilmember Yukile Sugimura.
Thank you. Thank you, Lieutenant Governor, for all that you are doing. In behalf of the Maui County, I just want to also thank Senator Schatz, President Biden, everybody who is sending down their aloha, really, to Maui. And it's amazing how this news has traveled across the country, and help is on its way. And this big disaster is bigger than anybody could have ever imagined. So us with the county on our level, we get emails daily of people who are afraid that their house is going to still burn and there's still hot spots out there and that we don't have electricity. So we hear the one-on-one, and we want to thank everybody who's making it possible for us to continually support them and make sure that their family and loved ones are safe. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Senator DeCoite.
Hi, aloha everybody. Again, our thoughts and prayers to the families that are out there, to our first responders. You know, thank you for the work that you folks are doing. But why we're here is to make sure that the people that need supplies are going to get those supplies. To the people that have already brought in supplies via water into those areas, I thank you very much, because we as government could not get to them. So the private partners that we have gained access to, I think that was key for us to bring most of those things in there, as well as making sure communication for them While many of you have been very patient with us, it is very important that you know that while we're trying to make sure that the availability of supplies is here for all of you, it is the group behind that have worked together, not just in supplies, but in communications, but in health and everything else. So I want to thank all of you. Help is here, supplies are here, and to the partners on Oahu that we've been working with. Again, we have many people that have donated. As you heard earlier, even when we talk about places for storage, to our many friends across the world and across the mainland that have reached out to us, please, if you folks do have friends that have access to those private warehouses and stuff, now's the time to step up. When you folks have asked us, what do we need? This is what we need. This is also some of the things that, for those of you on Oahu, we will have also storage there, and the people that you can work with. Again, as Locke said earlier, you can go to Maui Nui Strong, take a look at the website, and you can literally message in on what you can do, what you want to do, where to get help, and so forth. So thank you all for being here today, and mahalo.
Thank you, Senator. Next up is Representative Kyle Yamashita.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. On behalf of the House, I'd like to send our heartfelt well wishes to all those who have suffered uncomprehendable losses. And we'd like to thank all the partners involved on behalf of the House, Speaker Saiki, all my colleagues, and especially the Maui contingent, Representatives Woodson, Amato, Poipoi, Cochran, and then you'll be hearing from Representative Hashimoto in a minute or so. But we are here to help, to do whatever we can. We'd like to thank the Lieutenant Governor for all her work, and as well as all the partners behind us who have spoke before. Everybody has stepped up and done so much, and we're so thankful for that. But you know, the work's not done yet, so we're going to be continuing to be there for everybody. And if you need us, just reach out, and we're just a phone call away. Thank you.
Lastly, we have Representative Troy Hashimoto.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. Troy Hashimoto, State Representative. Like everyone else, I just want to thank everyone who has participated and donated. It truly takes a village, right? It takes everyone who donates, then it takes partnerships of the federal, county, and state, as well as private partners to then figure out what has been donated gets to the correct people. And I think, you know, from what I'm hearing out in West Maui, sometimes we're not getting it to the right people at the right time when they need it. And so I think this effort, this coordinated effort, will try and fix that, because after all, this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. This disaster the recovery time will be quite long. And so I think those of you who, you know, have not donated yet, there's still time. But I think every day we're trying to get better and more efficient to make sure that people who need things are getting it. But we got to remember that 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months, 6 months, there'll still be needs. So even though that you may be donating now, we can't forget that the rebuilding process will take quite a while. So thank you. If this is the first of many steps, I think, to have a coordinated effort, and we're just very appreciative to the Lieutenant Governor to bring us together to service the people of Maui. So thank you.
Okay, thank you to all our speakers. We'll now open it to Q&A, followed by closing remarks from Lieutenant Governor Luke. We'll start in RSVP order, so please state your name and your news organization. And today we learned about this coordinated effort to distribute donations and supplies to the residents of Maui. We kindly ask you keep your questions to that nature. So starting will be Izzy from ABC.
I'm wondering, will there be interpreters at the donations? Because a lot of immigrants don't know where they can get aid. So I'm wondering if there's going to be a solid interpreters.
I'll turn it over to Lakshmi if you have info.
I do know that right now we're working with a number of volunteer organizations to make sure that we have interpreters on the ground in the shelters assisting those that are sheltering in place. We look to expand that service not only through our shelters, but we will definitely look into having them stationed at our drop-off sites as well. Thank you.
Do we have Maui Now here? Anyone from iHeartMedia? Mayor Choi.
Yeah, hi, a couple questions. I want to know those AT&T phones that you're going to be donating, will they be operational immediately, and or when will they? And then also, just the coordinated effort, as you said, it's going to take a long time, and the needs change, if not weekly, daily. How do you communicate with these people? And so this kind of goes part and parcel to make sure that on a daily, weekly basis, the right people are getting the right needs at the right time.
Right. So I'll address the second question, and I'll turn it over to Elizabeth for the AT&T question. The question is, the needs change daily. In fact, that's a really good point, because one of the conversations we had, Senator Schatz and I had with the mayor, was we were anticipating and we were assuming some of the needs out there, those change on a daily basis. So initially, our assessment was we needed everything, including clothing. But at this point in time, we have excess amount of clothing, so we are storing all the clothing, inventorying, just in case we need that 5 months down the line, a year down the line. So we don't want to turn it away. We want to store, and that's the significance of this storage facility. That's the reason why this coordinated effort is important, because there were so many individuals out there, organizations out there wanting to help. And we appreciate every single amount of aloha and help. But we have to pool our resources together, because no matter how much help there is, we need to coordinate. And that's why you see the federal partners, you see the state partners, you have the county partners, and we're coming together to assess the needs, inventory, store, and get the things out. We want to communicate directly with the people who are impacted, and that's why the website and the email that is created, people can reach out, people can directly communicate and specifically say, these are the needs we want, and then from the distribution center, we'll reach out working with our county partners, working with our nonprofits to get the items to the impacted area. At this point, I'll turn it over to AT&T.
The phones will be charged and activated prior to arrival, and again, they will be here for as long as Maui needs.
But is the infrastructure up so that the phones will work? Do you have the cellular service for the phones too?
We are restoring service in West Maui as quickly as possible. We can work with this coordinated effort, make sure the phones work wherever they go.
Lieutenant Governor or AT&T, satellite service. Any word from FEMA if we'll see those tent set up where those satellite phones will be available in West Maui, or anyone could answer that for us?
Thank you. I'll turn it over to Roxy.
We're currently in the process of working those details out with FEMA, and we should have more answers in the days coming, but we don't have any concrete information on that. I know that they're looking to get service up as quickly as possible, but we're still trying to make that happen.
Could it be within a week we could have cell phone service up? Is that possible?
We do have limited cell service right now. We're getting a lot of Starlink service devices into the area, and we're going to continue to filter Starlink devices into the area. We just discussed this morning purchasing more of them to get them in there as soon as possible. Those devices carry their own challenges, but ultimately the goal would be to get regular internet service up and running as soon as possible.
And those Starlinks would be like at resource drop-off centers, or?
Right now, strategically speaking, we're trying to position them where our volunteers and county personnel and emergency personnel are, but the long-term plan is to get them in the hands of neighborhoods where they have access to internet service.
But no timeline yet for cell phones?
We don't have a timeline yet.
Anybody reach out to Elon Musk?
I'm not sure. We have had an outpour from many different celebrities, professionals, organizations throughout the world at this point, and a lot of people have offered their support. So I don't know of Elon Musk personally. Yeah, I know that there's conversations. I just don't have an update for you at this time.
We have a question from Maui.
Okay.
I'll bounce off that. Has anyone reached out to Larry Ellison, the Lanai guy? I don't know if that's the right name.
The Lanai guy. I can offer that we are continuing to talk with all of our community partners and reaching out and trying to collaborate services at this time. I don't have a direct response regarding Mr. Ellison, but we certainly will be touching base with him to see what we can work out to help the community here.
If I could do one more, and I ask Senator Schatz, have you been able to talk to President Biden about all this, and if so, his response?
I had a missed call from the president while I was in the middle of a presser, but he has reached out to me and to Governor Green and to Mazie Hirono, and I know the vice president has called both the lieutenant governor and myself. I just got off the phone with Steve Ricchetti from the White House, talked through the federal response, and look, this is the worst catastrophe that ever happened to any island in the state of Hawaii. But it's also fair to say that there has not been a single request to the federal government that has not been granted. The federal family was immediately on the ground. Within 6 hours of submittal, the major disaster declaration was declared. Bob Fenton is in town. The administrator is in town. Indo-PACOM is engaged. So the federal response has been robust.
I have a question for Maui County again. This is from our Dylan Ancheta. He says, we were hearing reports that community donations being turned away in the beginning. Are those any merits to those reports? And, there's frustration, obviously, from the community over what they perceive as happening.
We can certainly understand the frustration. I mean, given the severity of the situation, it's expected that people are going to be frustrated, upset, angry. All we can do on our end is continue to push through it and try to work things out through collaborative efforts like this one. As far as pushing away donations, all I can speak to is that we have had our War Memorial site open as of day 2 and have been actively collecting donations from the community. We have had an outpour of support from the community, which we are immensely grateful for. Certainly our community and residents and neighbors have stepped up to the call and have been providing all the different types of supplies and foods and different things that have been needed to support Lahaina's community. So we continue to accept goods through today at War Memorial, and as of tomorrow we will continue that effort at Sears, collecting the supplies that I named earlier.
Any possible legitimate reasons as to why donations may be turned away, maybe at the porch, that you can think of?
The only one that I know of specifically is for some organizations, I believe they don't have the capacity to hold supplies. So what I would say to that is just, again, direct people to our drop-off sites. As Lieutenant Governor mentioned, please do not drop things off at shelters. We need to centralize the locations where donations are going to so we can more efficiently distribute them out in the community. And that's why this primary distribution spot at Sears is where we're trying to drive the public so we can organize that effort to get them out.
Do you think there might have been like a misconception if maybe they were sitting for a while that they're being turned away?
What I can tell you is that we have been bringing in probably over the last couple of days close to 60 to 70 shipping containers of supplies just through the efforts with the county. Again, that doesn't include all the grassroots efforts that are going on, and we have taken most of those containers directly to Lahaina for distribution. I think what people may have been perceiving as sitting is our sites that are set up with supplies there. At a certain point, we were just leaving the supplies sitting out at our distribution sites because we understand that if people are coming and taking supplies from the area, they obviously need them. So anything that was sitting was quickly thereafter distributed to people that are in need.
My last follow-up, those containers you're accepting every day, are some of those federal aid?
We are receiving, I would defer to our federal representative for those. I do know that the partners that I have been working with directly through the county are more localized. We also have had an outreach from national partners, but they're mostly private individuals and companies and corporations that have reached out wanting to donate supplies and get them to us. And we are working with a number of local partners such as Mahi Pono and many other trucking companies, just individuals that can help us get things from point A to B to get those supplies over to the west side.
We'll take 2 more questions.
If not,
We got one.
okay.
Can I ask Shan, what have you guys been able to do as Mahi Pono to help with what Lakshmi was just talking about?
Yeah, so part of it is kind of coordinating the logistics, making sure that whatever is received on the island, that number one, we have a place to store them. 100 containers, it takes up quite a bit of space, so we've made sure that on our base yard that we have adequate space to house those containers. then we're going to prioritize them and try to redistribute those to the different nonprofits that need them as they see fit.
Have you guys been able to donate any? I know you guys growing a lot of, fresh produce. Has any of that been able to be distributed, or is it not time right now?
Yeah, no, we have. So we've been actively donating to the Maui Food Bank. We've done a number of produce drops. In addition, Maui Cattle Company has prepared and has gotten additional ground beef ready for distribution.
I can comment on
Okay, go ahead.
As far as perishable items such as vegetables, obviously those are a huge priority for us to get out into the community. One of the biggest challenges, at least in this immediate response over the last couple of days, is having a place to store those items. I mean, we're focusing on the very basic needs such as ice, coolers, to be able to have the capacity to store. The other thing that they're challenged with over there is just being able to cook things, right? So one of the needs is propane, to be able to use barbecues and that type of thing. But until the electricity is up, things that are perishable are not as in high demand, but we do perceive in the near future moving to vegetables, fruits, and getting those types of items out into the community.
Okay, we have one last question. You asked. Oh, okay. Anything else you want to add, Lieutenant Governor?
No, that's why that's why this is so important, because there has been such an outpouring support, not just from the people of Maui, not just from the people around the state, around the world. They want to ship stuff, and some of the frustration you're hearing is because of the lack of coordinated effort. That's why we felt the federal, the state, the county needed a coordinated effort to take in all the goods and inventory that have been donated. We don't want to turn anything away. People of Maui will need this, not just in the next few weeks, but just in the several months and years ahead. So we want to make sure that we take in all the items that people have generously donated. And this is one of the facilities, and we'll be securing other facilities, not just on this island, on Oahu, to make sure that the needed supplies go out to the individuals who are in need.
Just last question. Who at the end of the day, where's the buck stop when it comes to the donations and stuff? Like, who's it?
The governor has asked me to coordinate with the county and the state partners and the federal partners as well. So this is a joint effort. So again, if you need information, please turn to mauinuistrong.info. This is a county website. It provides all the info that you have heard today, and it provides how you can volunteer, how you can donate, and also it will provide additional information about how people will get services from all the different county, state, and federal government partners. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you so much.
And once again, that was a live news conference with state officials there on Maui, outlining their efforts for the coordinated distribution of the goods. One thing we learned there is that Maui County has been absolutely flooded with donations from the community, which is, of course, a good thing to have. I want to show you some video from the last few days over the weekend. The state capitol turned into a massive donation site. Take a look at all of that. I was able to swing by over the weekend, and there was so many helping hands there. Honolima Kako, it is a Kako thing. Bags and bags and bags of donated items were there at the state capitol. Hundreds of volunteers were needed to go through all of that. Kimiona Kane is one of the community leaders who helped put that on, along with some other state employees. Just take a look at that, a staggering amount of goods there. And this is part of the tremendous amount of goods that were sent to Maui County. As you heard officials there say, there have been 60 to 70 containers of emergency supplies and donations that have been shipped to Maui, and they say those have been directly taken to Lahaina. And one of the big other headlines out of this news conference is the immediate needs that they are asking for. Officials are no longer asking for donations of clothing. There has been so much an outpouring of support there. They say they are good on clothes right now. Instead, the immediate needs are the food items, the non-perishables, the proteins, the vegetables. Food items, nonetheless, will definitely go a long way there. They also need a lot of water and charging supplies. People, as you heard a few moments ago, are getting cell phones donated from AT&T there as officials work to get connectivity, cell service back up and running there on the Valley Isle. And so chargers, charging supplies, hand washing supplies also in great need there. So really the toiletries, the food, that is the main priority for the state officials, state and county officials who are working together to coordinate the distribution of all of these goods. The Maui Food Bank is also looking for donations along with MEO. I believe that is Maui Economic Opportunity. If you are looking to donate, you are asked to sort and inventory your items before donating them. That will definitely help keep the donations in an organized manner, so it will help get it out quicker. MauiNuiStrong.info is another website that you can go to for the latest. If you are in Hawaii or around the world, that website has a lot of information on how you can contribute. And one other thing to note, state officials are asking that if you do not have someone to receive your shipment on the other side there on Maui, they're asking you please to not send things directly there. Instead, go through those approved channels. All the details there, again, MauiNuiStrong.info. They also mentioned that the collection site at the War Memorial will be moving to a nearby Sears in the coming days. So that is another update as well. And once again, please hold off on the clothing donations. Instead, focus on the immediate needs there. As you heard, our Eddie Dowd was at that news conference, and we will have more on this in later editions of Hawaii News Now. I also want to remind everyone that coming up at 3:30 this afternoon, Governor Josh Green will hold another press conference alongside Maui Mayor Richard Bisson and other emergency response personnel. We will be carrying that news conference on air and online. Again, that is starting at 3:30. You can catch that on our stations as well as your Hawaii News Now digital platforms. For now, I'm Dylan Ancheta in the H&N Digital Center. We thank you for sticking with us as we try to get you the answers that you seek in this time of disaster for our friends on Maui. Aloha.